Get my stuff up here in front of me in a sec. So yeah, this hearing is now in session. It's being recorded to maintain a permanent record. My name is Chris Havel. I'm the hearing officer. Today is Monday, May 23rd, and the time is now 6:09 p.m. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for public comment on the proposed rule changes to OAR 736-050-0260 subsection 9 by the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department regarding procedural rules for the State Advisory Committee on Historic Preservation. The agency invites comments about whether options should be considered for achieving the rule's goals while reducing the negative impact on businesses. In addition to presenting oral comments at this hearing, anyone may submit written comments until 5 p.m. on May 31st, 2022, which is the close of the public comment period. Comments received after the close of the hearing Comments received after the close of the public comment period will not be reviewed or considered by the agency unless the agency decides to extend the public comment period for everyone. Send comments to the public comment mailbox or to the State Parks office, and those addresses will be posted online and are with this meeting announcement, and I'll also show them on screen in the chat in a bit. OPRD will not respond to questions during this hearing. Once the public comment part of the hearing starts, after the close of the public comment period, staff will prepare a report for the agency, which will be available from the agency upon request and will be presented to the Parks Commission as they consider adoption of these rules. If you have questions as part of your testimony, I would appreciate it if you would state those questions as concerns for the record. Please do not ask questions of those who are making formal comment. To provide better context for comments, I may ask follow-up questions. I'm just going to check real quick to see if Isaiah has come back in. I don't see it. Okay. So we are here at a rulemaking hearing. I'm going to explain the background a bit very briefly because it's Kirk. Rulemaking, next steps, questions, and then provide your an opportunity for your comment. The State Advisory Committee on Historic Preservation is a 9-member governor-appointed body with citizens who have expertise in fields related to historic preservation. The SACHP reviews all proposed National Register of Historic Places nominations in Oregon. The National Register of Historic Places is a federal official list of historic places. This administrative rule 736-050-0260 subsection 9 requires SACHP meetings allow public comment. In October 21, 2021, an online meeting was interrupted when public attendee began typing racial homophobic slurs directed at members of the committee. The meeting was canceled before it could complete its work. In November 2021, the Oregon Parks and Recreation Commission implemented a temporary rule change to address the situation, and that temporary rule lasted for 180 days and expired this month. The SHCHP met twice after the implementation of the temporary rules. I'll explain those in a second. Staff and the committee members felt the temporary rule worked well enough to ensure public participation in the review process while protecting the health and safety of committee members considering National Register nominations. Committee members have requested this rule change become permanent. The committee chair under this proposed rule and under this temporary rule was allowed to instruct members of the public to submit their comments during the live meeting to OPRD staff, who would then share them verbatim with committee members during the meeting. Comments not material to the nomination and to the actions being taken by the SHCHP would not be shared. The proposed rule is modified from the temporary rule to allow for additional methods of submission during the live meeting rather than simply in writing, enabling broader options for participation for anyone with who is limited from submitting comments in writing. Just in general, what's going to happen here is we're accepting public comments until May 31st at 5 p.m. We're going to compile those, form a recommendation for the committee that will go to the Oregon State Parks and Recreation Commission in June. The comment period will be closed by the time the commission meets in June, and they will not be taking public comments at that June meeting. Staff report going to the commission with the recommendation will include any revisions suggested by public comment and found to be in spirit with the keeping of the proposed change. The commission could vote to adopt the rule changes as staff proposed them. They could also make amendments based on the comments that have been received. They could instruct staff to accept additional public comment on the rule changes, or they could choose simply not to move forward with the proposed rule changes. So I'm about to move into the hearing portion of the meeting. No decisions will be made here at the hearing. You'll have 3 minutes for your comments. I'm going to call people in the order that they registered. And we are recording this and posting it on the website, and we'll also use the recording as the permanent public record. Before I launch into the hearing portion, do you have any questions, Kirk? It's still so funny going through all of that for one person, but that's what public hearings are all about. So, and I don't see the additional person who signed up back in. So I'm just going to address you like you're a real human being. Do you have any questions about any of that stuff?
I do not, no.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take a breath, take a drink. I'm good. Okay. And you may now begin your public comment.
I have a very brief comment. I'll be following up with written comments as well, but I wanted to express deepest sympathies with the SACHP commission members who experienced what they experienced back in 2021. And while I believe the temporary rule had a place at that particular moment in time, I don't think it should be continued beyond the temporary rule timeline. I feel like it had the opposite effect, where it actually silenced voices and images of people during public meetings. And I think it is vital for decision makers, particularly at the state level, to be able to interact and see members of the public when they provide testimony to a commission that is considering matters even as minimal as resources to be listed on the National Register. I do understand that participation in the SACHP has increased during the COVID period because it's online and it's much more convenient for folks. And while I advocate for continuing to have online format, I would also recommend that it resume in-person meetings once again to, again, interact with the public so that the isolation that people feel can be abated. And I think that's just about it, Chris.
Okay, thank you for providing your comments. I'm going to adjourn the public comment portion of the hearing and click there. Good.